Hey guys, what's going on? It's Shatterpoint back with another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about Batman the Animated Series episode Harlequinade. Batman the Animated Series was the series that was done in 1992 and still stands as one of the best interpretations of the character that has ever been seen. So our story starts in a warehouse where there's a mob boss and the rest of the room is filled with other thugs, and the mob boss is holding an auction for a bomb big enough to destroy Gotham. He says, let's start the bidding at 1 million, and then the other thugs begin to bid on the bomb, and the bidding goes up to 5 million. The mob boss says, please don't insult me with nickel and dime bids. The man that walks out of this warehouse with this bomb walks out with Gotham in his pocket. Yours to blow sky high or pick clean, your choice. Now what are my bids? The Joker then walks in the room and says, how about nothing? Zero, zip. All of the thugs in the room then pull their guns on Joker. Joker puts his hands up, and he says, sorry boys, but this lot is sold. Joker is wearing a hat. He takes it off, and there's a bomb underneath. All of the thugs run out of the warehouse, and the only ones left in the warehouse are now the Joker and the mob boss that was holding the auction. Joker tosses the bomb into the mob boss's hands, and when the bomb goes off, a little jester figurine holding a sign that says boo and confetti come out of it. The Joker says to him, you really need to loosen up, dear, have a laugh once in a while. The jester figurine sprays the mob boss with laughing gas. The mob boss begins laughing uncontrollably, and the Joker says, now isn't that so much more pleasant? The scene then goes to a few moments later at the warehouse, where the police have now arrived on the scene and the Joker has already escaped with the bomb. Mayor Hill is talking to Commissioner Gordon over the radio. Mayor Hill is saying that Jim can't alert the public that Joker has a bomb, it will cause a panic. And he can't evacuate 10 million people on Jim's suspicions, he doesn't even know if the bomb is active. Batman is standing behind Jim, and Batman says, the Joker will be extra cautious this time, we'll have to think like him, or acquire someone who does. The scene then goes to Arkham Asylum, specifically Harley Quinn's cell, where we see Harley Quinn chewing some gum and playing with a jester doll. Batman enters Harley's cell, and Harley, surprised to see Batman, gasps and then chokes on her gum. She says, don't you know to knock before entering a lady's boudoir? Batman says, I need help. Harley says, well, you've come to the right place, I recommend a lobotomy. Batman says, Joker has a bomb, and if I can't get to him in time, Gotham is going up in a mushroom cloud. Harley says, so you want me to help you stop Mr. J? Sorry, no deal. Batman says, if you help me, they'll write your ticket out of Arkham, if you promise no double cross. Harley says, well, way to take all the fun out of life, and Batman says, I don't have time for jokes, and then he turns around and begins to walk out of the cell. Harley then says, wait, I'll do it. Harley then grabs Batman's hand and says, oh, the irony of it, the grim Dark Knight teaming up with his greatest female adversary to save the city. The scene then goes to Batman and Harley driving away in the Batmobile. Harley is handcuffed, and she says to Batman, I sense a lack of trust. Robin radios to Batman and says, are you sure you don't need any help keeping Zippy under control? Batman says, I'll be fine, and besides, I need you ready for if Gordon gets any leads, I'll call you if there's any trouble. Harley then picks herself free of the handcuffs, and then says, I want to listen to the radio, and presses a button on the Batmobile's main console. A parachute then ejects from the back of the Batmobile, and the Batmobile swerves all over the road, knocking out trash cans and anything else in its path. Once the Batmobile comes to a stop, Batman looks at Harley and sternly says, listen and listen good. You don't say anything, touch anything, or do anything unless I tell you. Got it? Batman then begins to drive the Batmobile again, and Batman says to Harley, Joker hasn't been seen at any of his old hideouts. I want you to show me the last place he was before he escaped. As Batman is talking, Harley is making faces at Batman. Batman turns his head to look at Harley. Harley gets nervous and stops making faces. Harley nervously says, okay, and then takes Batman to one of their hideouts. When they get there, Harley says, this used to be our special love nest. You take a look around while I slip into something more comfortable. Batman says, no tricks. Harley says, hey, we have a deal, and then leaves to change. Batman walks up to a curtain and pulls it back. Behind the curtain, Batman finds that the Joker has surveillance on all of the people that were main threats to him, being Mayor Hill, Commissioner Gordon, the rest of the GCPD, and so on. Batman turns around and two hyenas attack him. Harley walks back into the room, now dressed in her classic Harley Quinn outfit, and says, "I feel like a human being again." Harley looks at her hyenas attacking Batman and says, "Hi babies, mommy's home," and then throws a bone to them. Harley says to Batman, "How do you like our haha siesta?" Batman says, "Charming, especially these monitors. Between City Hall, the mayor's office, GCPD, Joker's got the whole city wired." Harley says he's a genius, and Batman says, "What's the attraction, Quinn? This sick infatuation with the Joker?" Harley says, "I spent my life as a psychiatrist listening to other people's problems, and then Mr. J came along and he listened to mine for a change, and he made everything fun." Harley then gives her hyenas a juicy piece of steak. Batman says, "You think it's funny when he hurts people?" Harley says, "It's just a joke." Batman says, "I hope you're still laughing when it's your turn." Harley then sticks her tongue out at Batman. The scene then goes to Batman and Harley driving on the road in the Batmobile. Batman radios to Robin and says, "Meet me at the Apex Novelty Factory." Quinn says that Joker used to use it as an old hideout. Robin says, "I'm on my way," and then Batman and Harley arrive at the building. Batman grapples to one of the windows at the top of the building and then says to Harley, "Grab on." Harley looks at Batman and says, "I can do it myself, thank you," and then she pulls out a crappy looking grappling gun that looks like a jester. Harley fires the grappling gun, and then the grappling hook comes back down and hits her in the head. She laughs nervously, grabs Batman's hand, and then Batman grapples up, dragging Harley with him. Batman enters the dark room and Harley follows behind him, and as they're sneaking around the room, Harley's saying, "Sneak, sneak, sneak." Batman looks at her and says, "Be quiet," and she says, "Oh come on, Bats, no one's been in this dump for years." Batman picks a lock to a door in that room. When it opens, we see inside of the door is a club-type scene where there's people eating, drinking, laughing, gambling, and there's even a band playing live on stage. When they all notice Batman, they all pull guns and aim them at him. Harley then gets nervous and hits Batman over the head with her weird grappling gun. She says, "Hey everybody, look who I found." They then tie up Batman and throw him on a gambling table. A thug named Boxy Bennett then says, "If it ain't the big bad Batman come to break up my little social club, it's gonna cost you, freak, big time." Harley then walks up to him and says, "Hi Boxy, long time no see." Boxy says, "Harley Quinn, last I heard they tossed you in the squirrel farm and swallowed up the key." He then points a gun at her and says, "What are you doing with the bat?" Harley says, "Come on Boxy, you don't think I'm working with Batman. I know you'd blow us both away if you thought that." Boxy says, "You thought right," and then he puts his gun down. Harley says, "You haven't seen Mr. J around, have you?" Boxy says, "Nope, and I never could figure out what a cute little number like you is doing with a slob like the Joker. Especially when there's suave guys like me around." Harley then says, "Now Boxy, sure my pudding's a little temperamental." She looks and sees Robin sneaking around outside through a window. She says to Boxy, "But what relationships don't have their ups and downs?" She then backflips onto the stage and sings this weird song about her and Joker's relationship. The song is meant as a distraction as Robin frees Batman. Once Batman is free, the three of them beat up all of the thugs in the room. The three of them then leave, and Harley is going off about how awesome it was beating up the thugs. Robin says to Batman, "And what was she before she went bonkers?" Batman says, "A clinical psychiatrist." Once they get to the Batmobile, Batman asks Robin, "Any word from the commissioner?" Robin says no, and the mayor still won't give him the order to evacuate the city. Harley then starts laughing, saying that Joker's plan is brilliant. Batman approaches her and says, "What are you saying?" Harley says to Batman, "Come on, what better way to tie up the cops than to tie up the mayor?" The scene then goes to a swimming pool, where Mayor Hill is tied up in a chair at one end of the swimming pool, and at the other end is the bomb. And Joker is swimming in the pool, laughing. Batman and Harley then drive to the pool. Batman observes from a distance Joker's thugs lowering Mayor Hill into the pool. Harley, who is sitting in the Batmobile behind Batman, says to him, "Do I know Mr. J or what? And here you just thought I was another blonde bimbo. Well, the joke's on you, I'm not even a real blonde." Robin, who is sitting on the hood of the Batmobile, looks down and shakes his head. Harley goes to high-five Batman, and then Batman handcuffs her to the Batmobile. Harley says, "What gives?" And then Batman says, "I can't risk you warning the Joker." And then she says, "Would I do a thing like that?" Batman and Robin then leave, and Harley says to herself, "Man, you just can't trust some people." Harley picks herself free of the handcuffs. The scene then goes to the pool, where Joker is drying off and says to Mayor Hill, "Nothing like a moonlight dip." Mayor Hill then says to the Joker, "Please, just make your ransom demands and be done with it." Joker says, "Oh, no ransom this time. Instead of taking down you, the cops, and Batman all separately, I'm gonna blow you all away at once." Joker radios to his thugs and says, "Send the plane, we're blowing town, literally." Mayor Hill says to Joker, "But all of those innocent people." The Joker says, "Some joke on them, think of it as the ultimate punchline." Joker pushes Mayor Hill to the bottom of the pool, and Robin jumps in after him to save him, and Batman throws a batarang at the Joker, knocking him to the floor. The Joker gets up and then takes an umbrella from one of the tables nearby and swings it at Batman. Batman grabs the umbrella and throws Joker into a tree. Batman is about to take Joker away when Harley Quinn shows up and shoots a gun at Batman that restrains him to the tree. She then shoots another gun at Robin that ties him up. Harley says, "It's amazing what you find in people's glove compartments." Harley jumps into Joker's arms and says, "Hi, Puddin', did you miss me?" Batman says, "Quinn, we had a deal." Harley says to him, "Deal's off, no one said anything about hurting Mr. J." Joker's plane shows up and Joker says, "Come on, Harley, we'll get to a safe altitude and then watch the fireworks." Robin hollers to Harley saying, "It's a good thing you came, the countdown sequence didn't leave Joker enough time to swing by Arkham and pick you up." Harley says to Joker, "You were gonna pick me up, right?" Joker says, "Of course, but now just here you are, so it saves me a trip." Harley says, "But what about all of our friends still locked up in Arkham, and our babies, the hyenas?" Joker says, "I'll buy you a goldfish, let's go," and then shoves Harley into the plane. Harley says no, and then kicks Joker in the face, and then runs after Batman and Robin to free them. As Harley is freeing Batman, she says to him, "You know, I have a crazy idea. Maybe Mr. J isn't the guy for me after all." Joker then gets in the plane and leaves Harley behind. He drops bombs on where Batman was. When Joker sees that Harley and Batman survived, he tells his thugs to bring the plane back around. Robin disables the other bomb and says, "Made it with time to spare." Joker's plane comes back around and Joker drops more bombs on Batman and Robin. Joker shoots the bomb and says, "That bomb is going off even if I have to go down with it." Harley says, "Laugh this off, Puddin'," and then she shoots her Jester grappling gun at the plane. The grappling hook hits Joker in the head, and then Joker gets dizzy and starts to fire his guns all over the place. The guns hit the engines of his own plane, and then the plane crashes. Joker escapes the wreckage, and then Harley approaches him and aims a gun at his face. Harley says, "Freeze, clown," and then Batman and Robin approach from behind, and Batman yells at her not to. Harley says to Batman, "He's mine." Joker says to Harley, "You wouldn't dare, you don't have the guts." Harley starts to cry, and then she pulls the trigger, and out of the barrel of the gun, there's a ribbon that says "Rat-tat-tat." Joker looks at Harley, furious, and then his anger turns to joy, and he says, "Baby, you're the best." And then Joker and Harley hug. And that brings this story to an end. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, share, and subscribe, and when you do, make sure you hit the bell so you get notified whenever I do drop a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.